Niggas trying to scrap in there, bro. Niggas trying to fight the CEOs, bro. Niggas fighting over TV. Niggas fighting because he took his cup. Like, man, fuck all that shit. King Jew, back in this bitch like he never left. What the fuck is up with y'all, man? Today, I got another fucking story time for y'all ass today. Like, man, my last 2 weeks, like, been crazy. Like, this shit just feel like a damn, I don't know, feel like a cycle that I'm finally fucking done with. Like, I'm done with this shit. I'm done. Like, I'm done. I'm not fucking going through this shit no more. Like, me making stupid ass decisions, you know, being hard headed as fuck. Like, and being stuck in my ways, and that shit lead me to some spots I'm not trying to be in. Like, I don't need to be in for like what? Like, I got a son, you know? Like, if you saw the title of my video, you already know what the fuck this video is about. This video is about, damn, me getting locked the fuck up. Me getting locked the fuck up because I was gone for about a week. I was locked up for a week in this bitch. Y'all probably like a week ain't shit, but in there, that shit feel like fucking month. Like, that shit feel like a month. That shit feel forever. Time goes slow as shit. Time goes slow as shit. But I'm here. I'm standing. Y'all see me. So, what's up? And I'm gonna tell y'all how the fuck it all went down. Like, it wasn't no shock that I was gonna get locked up. I was like, it's an 80% chance I go here today and I'm gonna get locked up. Because I had to go see my probation officer over some bullshit I did previously, and I went to go see him, and he was like, bro, like, nah, you ain't got no money for me today. Fuck you. Fuck that shit. I'm running your ass a court date. I'm gonna see you in court. You need to get that money. You still ain't got that money, then I don't know what the judge gonna do. So I'm like, it's coming to that time. Like, a lot of shit happened before then, so I already know, like, all right, bro, your time is about to run out, bro. Like, you came to the end of the road. Like, I was like, it's a 80% chance. So I was prepared, like, mentally, but I still wasn't prepared fully for, like, that shit when it actually did happen. Cause, bro, I went to the stand. I tried to give it to this man. I tried to talk my way out this bitch, but sometimes you get to that point where it's nothing you can do, you know, to talk your way out that shit. Like, you just gotta accept the consequences, bro. He told me, he wrote on that paper, bro, he said 4 months. He said 4 months, and tossed my ass to the side. Then the big ass, goofy ass looking officer, he fucking was like, this. He was like, hold out your hands. I'm like, bro, when you holding out your hands, it's like, if an officer ever tell you turn around, face your car or some shit, he get you out your car, like, he finna arrest your ass. Like, be prepared to be in handcuffs, because that was my second time that shit happening. So I was like, I'm like, fuck, like, bro, fuck, y'all gonna wake me up at 8 in the fucking morning to come to this shit and lock my ass up, take my ass to jail. Like, I had some shit I was trying to do, bro. Like, I ain't gonna say too much on, like, shit I'm trying to do, but y'all gonna see my face everywhere. But besides the point, yeah, I couldn't even do that shit the next day, bro, because I was sitting in the damn jail. He took my ass straight off the stand, sat my ass down. I had to wait till everybody fucking went, and they took my ass right to the jail, right from the fucking court, bro. This is how I knew this shit was, like, inevitable. Like, this shit was supposed to happen, because, bro, right when he loaded me in the truck, right? He loaded me in the big armored ass looking truck. He put my ass in there, and he was like, bro, a door that ain't worked in fucking 6 months. That shit ain't worked in 6 fucking months, bro. In 6 months, that shit worked. Soon as I got in that truck and rolled to the door, he was like, what the fuck? He was like, this shit ain't worked, like, in 6 months. Like, what the fuck? How that shit just worked? And I'm like, bro, I was like, at that point, I was like praying. I'm like, bro, all right. Like, I know everything that led me here. So, like, I gotta deal with that shit. But protect my ass, bro. So, I'm around in the back, and he trying to talk. He having full conversations with me and shit. Like, I'm happy about this shit. I'm like, nigga, I'm about to go to jail. Like, I don't give a fuck what you about to say. Like, I'm quiet as shit. I'm just saying like this. Just like that, with my eye closed, bro. I'm like, fuck. I'm just like, fuck. Like, I don't want to deal with this shit. Like, this shit annoying as fuck. that's going through my mind when I first got in there. So first, when you get in that bitch, they take your ass out the truck. Then you gotta go into another fucking building. That's the jail. Then you gotta go through booking and shit, bro. I got there at fucking 8 in the fucking morning. No, it was like 9 in the fucking morning. I got there, and I didn't get into the holding cell until I didn't get into the pod until like fucking 5 or 6 that day. So I was in holding and booking for that long ass time. Like, bro, it was about 4 hours before they let my ass even use the phone, bro. Like, I couldn't even use the phone in that bitch. Like, I'm like, bro, like, they had me sitting on the holding cell. I'm just sitting on the hard ass, cold ass fucking bed. That shit could be cold as fuck in that bitch, bro. Like, I'm sitting on that shit just like, fuck. I went to sleep and shit. I was tired. I went to sleep. But it was 4 hours before I fucking got to even use the phone, bro. Because they got that toilet, they got the bed, and it's just fucking this small ass square you fucking in. And I'm like, bro, fuck. So they let my ass finally use the phone. I'm calling my everybody. I'm calling like my pops. I'm calling everybody, bro. Nobody answering the phone. Like, nobody was answering the phone at that time. It's probably early. Like, you get a random call from a jail. Like, you not gonna answer that shit right away. You like, who the fuck calling me? Like, who the fuck in jail? We don't know nobody in jail. And they forgot I had a court date that day, so I told them. But yeah, bro, it was like a minute before I even got in contact with somebody, like telling them what the fuck going on. Like, come pick up my clothes, come pick up all my shit. Like, yeah, I'm gonna at least be in here for a week, at least. At the minimum, they said I gotta be in there a week, at the minimum. So even if I paid the money, like, I couldn't get out. I had to be in there that week. So I'm like, bro, I gotta deal with this shit. Like, this shit real. Like, you in this bitch. Like, you in this bitch. So at that point, I'm just like, fuck, they gotta fingerprint me. They gotta fucking take my mug shot. So I got a fucking mug shot picture now. Like, they fucking, what else they had to do? I had to go see the nurse, and she shot some shit in my arm. Like, that shit started bubbling up. I'm like, she pulled out a big ass needle. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I don't know what the fuck you injecting into me. Like, you don't just, she ain't ask her nothing. She just like, I'm like, oh fuck. Like, nah, I don't know what they did to me, but it's okay. Besides that, yeah, I had to go see the nurse, bruh. Then it was this, I met this nigga. He was locked up for 5 years, bruh. He was locked up for 5 years in prison, and he finally got a bail. This man was like, I've been locked up since 2014, bro. He was like, I've been locked up since 2014. Like, I just got a bail, and they finna post that shit, and my ass finna be out of here. So this nigga, when he got to the pod with me, he just came straight down the hall. He was like, he came in that bitch for like 2 seconds. He came in there for 2 seconds, then he dipped out. He was happy as fuck. He was like, y'all gonna walk me down this long ass hall, and y'all know I'm finna leave? They like, yep, that's just how they is in jail. Like, the COs be on that bullshit. Like, bro, your ass really start feeling like an inmate in that bitch. Like, niggas be yelling all fucking night, bro. You gotta wake up fucking 5 times a fucking night. Like, you barely eating in that bitch. Then the food, bro, the fucking food, that should be like, sometimes like that shit be straight, but it don't taste like shit, bro. That shit, the meat look dry as fuck. I was like, that sausage, I traded that shit like for some cookies and shit. I traded that shit for some cookies. Cause my roommate was cool as fuck. My bunkmate was cool as fuck. I want to put some money on that man books, like real shit. I want to put some, as soon as I got in that bitch was like, I said that bitch. That nigga was like, welcome home, bro. He was like, welcome home. Like, welcome home. This nigga made me feel comfortable and shit. I had the comfortable ass mat. This nigga went and got me, when I was hungry and shit, nigga went and got me cornbread and fucking sandwiches and cookies and shit. He was like, yeah, bro, I'm gonna take care of your ass. Like, then I ended up being cool with like a lot of niggas in there. Even the niggas that like been there for a long ass time. Like, I just end up being cool with them. Like, it's that shit like you see on TV, they be having them pod bosses and shit. Like, niggas ain't gonna approach you at first, but like they see you cool, like you doing, like sweet, I do all that shit. Like, they see you cool, like they'll fuck with you. So when I was hungry and I needed some drawers, cause I ain't had no drawers in that bitch, they gave me some drawers, nigga. Cause I ain't shit all week, bro. I ain't shit all fucking week. I don't know what it was that made. I was like, Nah, I ain't shit all week. But I did take a shower, like when everybody was asleep. After we finished eating breakfast and shit, I took a shower. And that shower was cold as fuck. Yeah, I forgot about that shit. I had to take a cold ass shower because I didn't know how to work the fucking shower. And I put it on hot because that's what you normally would fucking think, right? When you see hot, you would think the water would be hot. Nah, they like, oh, after I got out, I'm done. They like, oh, you gotta push cold on that bitch for it to be hot. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, this shit backwards as fuck. So, moving on. Yeah, bro. Moving on. Like, I saw the fucking... they do got a TV in that bitch, though. So, like, I saw the games. I saw Alabama, LSU. I seen, like, they had movies and shit. They playing all prison movies, bro. Prison. They playing The Green Mile, fucking Purge, fucking all this reckless shit. Like, I'm like, these niggas crazy. Y'all don't need to be showing them this shit. They could bust a nigga head on the wall or some shit. No, bro, but that shit was just like, that shit was an experience. That shit, like, it really slowed down, bro. That shit really slowed down in there, and you can really, like, you like, fuck. You know, then when you come back out, it's like, shit moving fast again, you know? Call like an emotion, shit moving fast. But, like, I'm not going back. I'm definitely not going back in that bitch. I mean, not by my own power, you know? I ain't going back to that bitch. I'm done with that. That's just not the life for me. I like my freedom. I like to be out, you know, like to do what I can do and go where I want to go. Like, I don't need to be babysitted type shit. Like, I don't need that shit in my life. So I will not be back. I got transferred to the fucking other jail too. I had to work. So I was in that bitch working. Like, nah, I was ready to go. I'm like, nah, I ain't in here working for fucking free. I ain't about to be working for free. I ain't no fucking slave, nigga. Like, fuck. I mean, it was some reckless niggas in there too. Like, it was a nigga. My roommate had 5 aggravated assaults, bro. This nigga had 5 aggravated assaults. And he told me the fucking story too of how he got them shits. Like, I was like, damn, bro. He a young nigga too. That nigga was like 19. That nigga was like 19. He a young ass nigga. It was a nigga in there 17. He was in there like 4 months before they even gave his ass a court date. He still ain't got no court date. When I left, he still ain't had one. Like, that shit is everything you see, you know? It's everything you see. Like, niggas be having commissary and shit, and like, they go ball out at store. Like, they get money on their books. Then the store come like 1 in the morning. On Tuesdays and Fridays, the store come. So, niggas be getting all types of shit, bro. My roommate ordered a fucking Mountain Dew and a honey bun. He was waiting all week for that shit. He was waiting all week. And when that shit came, they gave him a Mountain Dew and a moon pie. That nigga was mad as shit. He was pissed off. He was like, what the fuck? But you gonna eat that shit. What you gonna say? You gonna eat that shit better than them bologna sandwiches, bro. They gave you 2 sandwiches. You ate at noon, you ate dinner, and they gave you 2 sandwiches for the rest of the day. So from 12 till you go to sleep, you only got 2 sandwiches. And one is a peanut butter, one's a meat sandwich. And I don't fuck with peanut butter. So that's 1 sandwich for the rest of the day. And you gotta live, you be hungry as fuck. Like, you be wanting to scavenge for shit. Like, I had books, I was reading books because them niggas pieced me up with some books and shit. So we're playing Uno. We're playing Uno in there. We're playing spades. Like, nigga fucking, it was a nigga in there, bro. He was Hispanic. He could barely talk Spanish and shit. No, he could barely talk English. I'm tripping. He could barely talk English. And he was like, we were playing Uno, right? So he had 1 card left, and it got around on his turn. He had 1 card. He put his shit down. He said, instead of saying Uno, because that's Spanish, right? That's already Spanish, right? He said, 1. This nigga said, 1. 1. We start cracking up. That shit was funny as hell. He was a cool ass nigga though. He told me some stories about his kids and his family. He was scared to get deported and all that shit. Like, I met some cool ass niggas. Like, child nigga Ant. We call him Migo. The suspended dude called Migo. And my roomie. I'm gonna link up with them niggas when they get out, definitely. But bro, it's not something fun. It's not something fun. It's not something that should be glorified. It's not something that you want to be at. It's for when you ain't going nowhere, you know? Like, if you staying in that bitch, like, you're not going nowhere. You're literally, somebody's watching over you 24/7. Like, you can't do shit. Like, you have cover and you cold in that bitch because it's cold as fuck. You go out to the table and try to fucking be warm. Nah. Open the intercom. Take that shit off. Take that cover off. Go take it back to the room. That's how they did my ass. Like, they told me, go take it back to the room. You can't even do shit. Like, so don't think that shit cool. Don't be trying to go there. Don't be trying to do that shit. Like, nothing fun about jail, you know? If it wasn't for the niggas I was with, then that shit would have been horrible. Good to be back recording. Feels good to be back on YouTube. Feels good to be living this life, you know? The life that I created. I'm gonna be living this shit, so this shit feel good. And until next time, I will see you in another fucking video.